Hello, everyone. I'm Rob Smith of Smith the Black with the Strat Time Report, and we got broadening formation. We got a lot of inside days. So, once again, we know SPY's handling an inside month, and is two down on the week, but fighting back here. So we had our outside day yesterday, right? It's going to give us a broadening formation. You go here. Now we're an inside day, right? Bright green though, so we've got some day left, but potentially we just go 3-1 on the day. So you want to be very careful when you have an inside day this late in the day, albeit still charging up. If you go to the 60 on the SPY, you'll see this. This we drew yesterday, right? And went right to it. Then inside on the 60. That's a 2-1-2 reversal on the 60. Still no reversal against that. So potentially we're going all the way back up in here, but we're going to watch every 60 because then you have an inside day. You can go back and forth. However, we've been strong so far. So this is what we're keeping an eye on right here. All right. Also, there's a concept that I teach too, that depending on when your 60 updates, right? Some software updates on the top of the hour, some on the bottom of the hour, right? And so here, what you're going to see this. Mine updates on the bottom of the hour, and you see these two inside 30s inside of this. But if you go to a 60, you won't see it, right? But if you go to your 30 here, this 60-minute period was inside of that, right? That counts. We call that a sideways 60 because you're going to have stops here, here, and here, and boom, took them all right out. So now you also have an outside 30 in the last half an hour. So if you go down short term, go to your 5-minute, you're going to see this. Your higher high, your lower low. There's your 5-minute broadening formation. Okay, so it's always important to keep an eye on these because we know that this is how price action works. Broadening formations back and forth. But once again, inside day, minding the 60, still 2 in our way up so far. No reversal against us yet. When we do have that, there'll be a bit of a tone change because that way some things get caught up in the futures or they just keep going up because the futures are going up. But once you have that, then we can start to gauge a little bit more strength and weakness, but we don't have that as right now. If we go to QQQ, in the Qs, inside 60. Right here, and here's your broadening formation. Still no reversal against as yet. Still an inside day. Q's a little bit stronger though. A little bit closer to taking that out. Back to a doji on the week. Everyone's a loser, right? We don't like that. We like to have trenders, but as long as we know what we're looking at in something like this, and we'll keep it on that 60 for the Q's. If we go to the Dow Jones Diamonds, and the Dow Jones Diamonds here. Also handling an inside day, all right? Back into last week's range, and we know out of the broader averages, once again, diamonds doing nothing for the month, inside month. So you always want to be cautious on that. Small cappers here, also trying to come back up. Here back in the last week's range, so you can see all of this stuff is a real chop shop in here, right? Back and forth, and that's your inside month and 3 months inside of this thing and all that kind of stuff. So if we go to Boeing, and Boeing, let me write this down here. Boeing hits magnitude. Now we know it's an inside month and hasn't been doing much outside of this Rev Strat last week. Now coming back chop shop style, but it was in the video last night because of this setup that we look for. Outside day, inside day, and we could have a lot of those coming in tomorrow. The 3-1-2, and the magnitudes would take that out, but every once in a while they go a little bit further. So the good thing was, didn't gap. It opened, moved through there, so you could grab that as soon as it broke through that 178.50, and now you're up 182.48. That's not bad, $4 there. SPY still staying sturdy here on the new 60s. If we go to VRTX, how many times can we talk about this thing? Macro vid, hammer counter shooter year, 2-2 reversal year, and still up she goes and still going. So real nice looking for to take out the all-time highs there. If we go to the pandemics, and you've got you see a delta, gap up and just kind of sit, now trying to take these 260s up. So that gets a lot of the airlines going, and here you can see this hammer counter shooter monther. And American Airlines, the most heavily shorted stock in the S&P 500, taking out the Rev Strat month. 1, 2, 2. So that gives you a bunch of airlines. It was also in the pandemics, like I said, Hotels, Marriott having a nice day here too. Potential outside week still coming up here. You can see those hours real strong on that. Let's go down to 15er. Here, this is what you look for here to get in there. 2 up, 2 down, boom, hammer counter shooter, and off she goes. HST coming up here a little bit too. Hotels, all right, and still an inside month, but once again, 2 up, 2 down, that gets you in. There was an inside 15er, letter H. Here, inside on the 15 there, now chopping up just a bit. See if you can take that month, but real nice days for these guys. We go to Wynn Resorts. And Wynn Resorts, taking the inside day to the upside, so that gives us LVS. And then we can go to the cruise ships. CCL, coming up, RCL. So the pandemic names having a nice little day to start off here. If we go to Lulu, and Lulu, coming up on the 3-2 month, outside month, which means this selling was rejected and it's still being rejected as it takes this out. Remember yesterday, it went up, had that slight lower low here, went up and hit magnitude by stopping all these guys out, but the buyers didn't step up, but they came back today and then some. Here, real strong day here so far for Lulu, and 1 bar rev strat. The inside week pokes down and then boom, off she goes. Lulu having a real nice day. If we go to TPTX, all right, SPY and Q's trying to go the highs now. TPTX having a real nice day and gives you the outside week. Still an inside month, so if they can take this out, that would really get my attention. Then you have a 2-2 reversal on the month. And you know how we like to come back to previous ranges, because anybody short is short against all these pivots and stuff like that. Boom, right? And so when you have buyers on all time frames, which we do, right, those stops remove liquidity. It makes it hard for them to buy, and then they have to get really aggressive as they have. So we'll see. It's been a little quick here, but nice long green bar to keep an eye on going into the afternoon. If we go to WBD, and WBD, and here was an inside day, 2-1-2 continuation, and if that works, it causes this. We always want to see what that's going to cause. The 2 down, the 2 up weak. Real nice on that, so we'll see. Now it comes in a little bit, gives you maybe an inside 15er, or nope, by 1 penny it was down, so it's a 2-2 reversal on the 15, but we'll see what more comes of that. If you go to a 30, you'll see this. Trying to do the rev strat. 1, 2, 2. So for the next half an hour, has my attention over 26.61. It's just kind of sitting there right now. We'll see. If we go to Moderna, and Moderna having a nice little day, still tight on the week, but nice outside day. And once again, when you can see that going, when it gets back into yesterday's range in green and starts moving through there, we're going outside day. Right, and then we did. All right, it's been a little fast here. Now it's starting to creep just a bit. We get more of my attention if you can take out this month, the outside month, and take that up to the upside. Otherwise, we get another inside month. If we go to BNTX over there too, and BNTX still stuck on the week, but once again, nice little day here for BNTX as it starts off. We'll see if that sets up again for you. 15er. Inside 15 here, so not a lot of corrective activity so far in these things to go after. If we go to CRNX, oh boy, and CRNX, 2-month inside pattern, because both of these months were inside of this. So when it takes that out, it's a compound 1 break, because these would be an inside bar in a 2-month pattern. So that was good right here. Still would be a 3-month pattern, but starting to gun up because you're dealing with this outside month. And anytime you got an outside month, that's a broadening formation to go after. I just talked about coming back to a previous range. Look at this. Boom. Anybody got short in here just got handed to them this morning, and now you got an outside week there to work with. Now we'll see if it comes in a little bit for us to get in. If we go to LPLA, LPLA having a nice little day, and once again, just like those 15ers I was showing you on a monthly basis, the 2 up, the 2 down, and boom. These guys are going to take that out, and you might get some more out of it, and you did. Last week was an outside week, which means that this selling was getting rejected, and it's still getting rejected. Boom, off she goes. Anything good here on the 60 maybe? There you go, the inside 60 Momo hammer. Get you in right there. Magnitude on this is only take that out, but you got everything else working for you, and sometimes they keep it going, and it certainly is. Market's still staying firm, trying to go towards the highs. If you go to DoorDash, and DoorDash, one of the things we look for, the potential outside day, right? Pokes down, now coming back through, so a little bit more magnitude to hit 112.75. If you go to Amazon, almost an outside day there, looking to take this high out, 3101.98. If we go to Grin, Grin, not totally blasting, but a nice little inside day to the upside, and this thing's had some nice bars in it, so you might want to keep an eye on that coming into the afternoon. If we go to Zscaler, still tight on the month, but anytime, like I said, we get to the Strat time report, we want to see nice long green bars. That means they got some aggressive buying. We want to see if that keeps up and not an inside day. Potentially for the outside weaker here too, but we'll see. If we go back to the SPY, just keeping an eye on this thing. Still another 2 up on the 60. All right, and so the good thing about broadening formations, they get bigger. Remember we talked about how tight it was in here, and I said this thing's going to get bigger, and the moves are going to get better. They are. Okay, if we go to Palo Alto. Airlines popping here. Delta going to the highs now. United Airlines going to the highs. Airlines. And Palo Alto just also having a nice little day. We're going to see if it failed that, which it did not. And now on the inside week, now you got an outside week. So just a nice little move there. We'll see if that sets up now, stalling out just a tad. If we go to the downside, AbbVie. AbbVie having a rough one here. You can see that week. Here's your 2 up, 2 down reversal on the day. No higher high, still working. Back through a previous range, which we like. Changing the month back to red. And a 2 up, 2 down reversal on the week. All right, so that's nice. Just a little quick down here, so we'll see if that sets up again. You've got weakness in Lilly as well. And Lilly still handily on the week, but not totally getting killed, but it is down on the day, so we'll see. Trying to set up the RevStrat 60 if they want to save it, though. Inside, then down. But anything red on the day gets our attention when you're so bright green on everything else. If you go to FULC, Falk, oh boy, they got them good here. And you can see this on the weekly. 2 up by taking out the highs, 2-2 reversal back through previous range. Stop them out, and you got real sellers in there. So this thing's been pretty aggressive on the downside. Once again, we like these nice long red bars or green bars. There was your 2 up, 2 down on the daily to get you in for all that kind of fun. Well, we'll see if that sets up again. How's that 15er looking? And there was a nice RevStrat inside, then pokes up and then down. Now coming back up a little bit, so we'll see if that sets up again in the afternoon. Maybe an inside 60 for you. If you go to AutoNation coming back a little bit on that 60, but potentially the outside week, right? Goes up, now coming back and changes continuity. It was a 2 down yesterday as well, and now 2 down again. See if we can go take out those lows. SPY going to the highs, man. Then PayPal. So far, gap and sit, 3 hours and stuff in here, but just gets our attention because it's taking out last week's lows. Green on the day, so you got some conflict. Just want to be careful in that kind of stuff. If you go to Suave, now trying to come back a little bit on that 60 with the market being strong. Just a 2 up into the highs. Stop out the shorts and now stopping out the longs. 2-2 reversal. These two become an outside bar of that and that. So we'll see if it's weak enough to come down in here and give us the outside week. If you go to Chubb, the insurers, Amazon going with the highs. Chubb, just a 2 down on the day. Potential outside week. Right now on the 60, trying to go 2 up, 2 back down, but market staying firm here and going to the highs. And Progressive to a lesser extent here, also having some problems here, going after last week's 2 up, 2 down. So the insurers, you can see that higher high and now coming after some lower lows. I think we'll leave it there. Like I said, market staying firm, coming back through the broadening formation that we knew about here, right? So potentially, if we don't have a reversal on here, we're going to go take these guys out. all the way up at 445.75. But we got some distance and a lot to go. Marriott going to the highs as I speak. Like I said, the pandemics and some of the big boys coming back. Your Apples, your Teslers, and all that kind of stuff. So you can keep an eye on them all. But make sure you just keep watching those 60s to make sure. And there's a Tesla trying to go outside day to the upside. Because if you don't have a lower low on this stuff, that's still good. And that's going to do it for today. I'm Rob Smith. This is the Black Strat Time Report.